right at noon, which was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
See, where are you?
I like break these Bill Jacks in half too.
Yeah, I just broke those in half.
Okay.
Okay, put them in the bag, and now I'm gonna put them on the freezer.
Just, I mean, you could get her attention if she's way over there. Oh, she might have to potty. Go in the potty. She probably has to. Don't you think?
She's doing something.
Thinking about it.
How great that she has been trained to that.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday she peed and pooped in here, and then at the end she peed right next to it. I was like really
Super
close.
close. Super close.
Give her a treat after she's done pooping.
Okay.
Good job.
Millie!
Good job.
Yay! Good girl.
Derek Poopy.
Oh, she's got a little dangler. Let's get that dangler. Okay, Millie.
No, you don't know that yet?
She did it a couple times yesterday, but okay, yeah, that one's gotta come too. Okay, there we go.
Yuck. Yuck.
She probably needs a wet wipe too, but
Does she have wet wipes?
We'll let Lisa take care of that. I'll
Okay.
tell her when we're done.
Come here.
I don't have any wet wipes down here.
Just one
Just
treat?
click and then treat. Yep. I do that like 3 to 5 times in a row. It's usually what I'll start each session with, or at least for the first couple of lessons.
And it doesn't matter if she's like looking at me or not?
No, because this is just charging the clicker. So this is straight classical conditioning. The click happens and then the treat happens. The treat is not contingent upon the dog's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's just contingent upon the click. So if you click, you feed her. So that's one of the big differences between classical and operant conditioning. In operant conditioning, the dog's behavior is contingent on whether or not they receive the reward or the punishment, depending on which quadrant you're working in.
And now how many times would you recommend doing this to start?
Just like 3 to 5, so that's probably enough. So,
Okay.
so then I will kind of start moving around a little bit, and I'll just pair the dog's name with the click. So if she follows me, I say her name, click treat.
Okay.
Or like you say her name to get her attention. She
Yeah.
does. I think she
Okay.
kind of knows her name.
Millie.
And then click and then treat. Yep, there you go.
Good girl.
Millie.
Yeah, even that. So then if you kind of come this way, like she'll follow you if you come all the way to the other side of the room.
Millie.
You cute little peanut.
Mm-hmm. So then I'll do that like 3 to 5 times. I'm just gonna put these. I do everything 3 to 5 times.
Millie. Does it matter at this point if she
I-
looks at me?
So then when I start calling her name, I will try to wait until the dog at least just like orients themselves towards me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You're very cute. Millie.
Perfect.
Millie.
Then we could do it back and forth a little bit. I try to be cognizant of where the camera is too, so.
Right.
Millie.
Yes!
Oh, there you go.
Millie.
No, not her.
Come here.
Perfect.
Millie.
Millie. They're too cute.
Mm-hmm.
Millie.
Yes.
Let's each do it one more time.
Millie.
Come here.
You're doing a good job at not calling her name over and over again.
Trying really hard.
I know.
Millie.
know, we could do some. So for days 1 and 2, I don't move right into a hand target because they're so tiny babies. I just teach them to follow a food lure. So I she sees that I have food in my hand, and then I just have her follow it, and then when I let her eat it, I'll click. So it's just like a lured hand target. But usually like on day 1, I really just care about like if they follow the food lure.
Okay.
She took to it so fast that I bet you she would do one without, because look at her. She's like about it. As soon as she really likes the bill jack. As soon as she figured out she's just gotta follow my hand, like. So, and then I'll do like different patterns, you know what I mean? Because you have to teach a dog to follow a food lure. That's why so many puppies in puppy class, if they don't start until they're like 13, 14, 15 weeks, and people have food in their hand, they'll like disengage as soon as their hand is like 3 inches away from their nose, because they've not been taught that if they follow it, they will get it, right? And then owners get frustrated. But it's like if you just teach your dog at 8 weeks to do this, it will make training easier. Yep. So she just did that. Like whenever I teach something new, I usually do it with a food lure first if it's a puppy, and then I'll move right into trying it without the food lure. But do you see how I held my fingers
Like
so
this.
like almost pretending like I had food in my hand? I'll usually do that the first couple of repetitions, almost kind of like tricking the dog into performing the behavior even though there isn't food there, and then they'll get that light bulb moment. Oh, you know, even if I still do it, the click and the treat still happen. So then I'll try after a couple repetitions doing it without the pinchy fingers. I call this the pinchy fingers. It's came up with that term all on my own.
You're so smart.
Okay, so do it in that order. Start with just teaching her a food lure, and do more than just like a hand target movement. Do, you know, do all different little patterns of her following the food. So like I'll put that in her spreadsheet notes is like one of the things that we worked on today. Follow food lure.
She's so
I know,
excited.
she's right. So it's great because we're teaching her to be attached to our hand. So then when we do get rid of the food, she's going to be that much more likely to follow your hand movement signals later in life. So this time do it and then like flip her around and bring her back the other way. Do you know what I mean? Just like make her do little figure 8s or something. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, now do it without food but with the pinchy fingers, and then going into a hand target. There you go. Good. And then do that 3 to 5 times. Everything I'm going to say 3 to 5 times. Do it one more time. Okay, and then this time when you do it, you're just going to show her the flat hand. So it's like splitting hairs in behaviors, right? Yeah, light bulb. Do one so the camera can see. Perfect. That's great.
Right, camera.
So then, okay, like we just taught her to follow hand target and to follow the food lure in our hand while we're crouched down on the ground with her. Can she do it following us even though she's a tiny little peanut on the ground? So this is like, you know, I really don't do too much besides putting the leash on them in the last week so that they can kind of.
At what point did you put the harness on?
Oh, we can put the harness on today. I tried to start to do that real early too, actually. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
But then, like, this is almost a foundation in like leash skills, right? Like teaching the dog now that they should follow me next to me. It's gonna make it that much easier when I do it with the leash. my god, she's perfect.
She's so cute.
Millie, sit.
The excitement.
Here, do a couple where she follows you next to your leg with the food lure. And then we'll put her harness on and see if she can do it with her harness on. Because as soon as you put the harness on, right,
She's gonna melt.
initially they're like, I can't move. I'm mad. I know. Look at her. She's so perfect. We're like teaching this dog to heel right now at like 8 weeks old. Isn't that amazing?
It is just mind-boggling. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna get used to the fact that they're so smart.
Right. Bring her back, and then I'll get her harness on. I'll show you how to put there. Okay, so if it's, I'm glad that I'm explaining this too on the video. So this type of harness is a step-in harness. The dog's front legs need to go in it. So I've found with these particular harnesses, puppies fight you the least if you do it while they are in your arms.
Okay.
I still pair it with a treat, and this is how I do it. Here, Millie. And then she kind of hasn't really gotten that this means up, so I will lure her with a treat. Up. So I found that if you hold them like this, I did this on the camera yesterday, and then put their front feet in like this, and then set them down to do the back part,
Okay.
they tend to hate that the least.
Okay.
And then once it's on, I will give them a treat. Oh, that was a hard Zeus treat. You don't want. I'm gonna pick up some more. Do you want that one? It's like a piece of kibble. Hard piece of.
Yep, she wanted
Did
it.
she want it? Okay, good. We're gonna have the dog that I was working with last night. They took his kibble and just like dumped it in my bag. He's like this big labby pitty thing, and they're feeding him. Look at this kibble. Look how
Tiny
small it
bites.
is. That's what they're feeding him. I was
Okay,
like,
it's gonna inhale that.
right. I was like, is he still on puppy food? They're like, yeah, he loves it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna choke on it.
How old is he?
Like, I think he's like 8 months now. They're like, yeah, when can we switch him to adult? I was like, I don't know, 8 months to a year.
Yeah.
Anytime.
The worst question.
He's already been neutered at like 12 weeks because he got him from a rescue group.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably go on an adult formula. Look at her, she likes that kibble.
You gotta work hard for it, though.
Grab some more of these. So then.
Look at you in your harness.
Oh no, I threw it. Yeah, she didn't really seem to fuss too much when I first put it on yesterday. She was a little like, "Can I move?" But she got used to it really quick. I like this one. I like all of them, but she seems pretty resilient.
Get your toy.
Sometimes you put it on the first time and they like cry. Yay! So now just do one more. Follow the food lure around. Now that she has her harness on. Make sure she feels comfortable moving. Even though she's got something on her. Nice.
Right here.
She looks so cute with that harness on, doesn't she?
It's so tiny.
A lot of times they grow out of it by week 2 and 3, and then she's got more if we need a bigger one. But that's usually the one they start with.
That's dizzying.
Yeah, if you're getting dizzy, you only do it. You don't have to keep doing it. Or you could just like change your pattern instead of like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really have a ton of space down here, but you could like, you know. Oh, I don't have.
And now even for this, because it's following the food lure,
Yes.
we're also going to try to keep her on the one side.
Yeah, and I mean, I would do one side, and then you could do the other side. Like, one side isn't wrong. It's just the fact that she's following you next to your leg. So you could do either or both.
Okay.
Like in obedience class, when we work on leash skills, I ask people, which side do you want your dog to walk on?
Yeah.
I don't tell people one side's wrong and one side's right. If you're in competition obedience, then you would want them on your left. That's the only time where it would matter.
Interesting. I wouldn't want them on my left.
My dogs walk on my left because I hurt my shoulder when I was younger, so if a dog pulls, it hurts on my right, so they all walk. All dogs typically learn to walk on the left side if they learn from me. Because it hurts if they won't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did a couple hand targets. The template that I'll give you access to that has all of the description of the behaviors that we practice. So it's basically like all of the puppy class handouts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But maybe a few more things than that. So if you're like, oh, what skills do I need to work on? Like you could just reference the template that they're going to go home with.
Okay.
Those are all the things that we do with them.
We'll do here. Okay.
Right, exactly. So we did mat. You want to do the mat? Just do step 1 where you lay it down. Click when she comes over to it, then you put the food on.
Okay.
So I'll have real easy criteria in
Like
week
one paw.
Yeah, like she came over to it, so I clicked. Did
Okay.
she even have a paw on? Maybe,
Okay.
maybe not. You know, because they have no idea right now.
Okay.
So you want to keep feeding the treats so that the dog doesn't leave on their own.
Okay.
And when you want to move the mat, then you'll pick it up almost from underneath there and try not to send her flying.
Excuse me.
Yep, and as soon as she comes over, perfect. So then next week, I will up my criteria in that all 4 paws need to be on the mat for the click.
Okay.
And then by the 3rd week, I up my criteria that the puppies have to be offering a sit or a down before the click. Okay?
Okay.
So, like with Alfie and Jasper. Remember, Alfie was the one who was going down really well?
Yeah.
So, like, his criteria was a down. Jasper didn't master the down. Like, I was still luring him under my leg. So, he would just get a click for sitting on the mat. It's just got to be some sort of stationary behavior.
And you said that was the last week.
That's week 3. Yep.
Good.
And then maybe you do a couple over here close to the camera. I'll do it. So sometimes with these itty bitties, what I'll do is this.
Okay. Like can I pick them up?
I kind of wanted to watch you struggle, but no, I'm just kidding.
Millie!
She's like, wait, this was the treat lady.
I know, that's how I felt last time I was here. I
Uh-huh.
was like, they only want Jess.
A lot of the Cavapoo puppies have the white on the chin.
Yeah.
She has just, do you see it? It's just like a little, like someone just took a paintbrush and went boop. Oh, she likes you better. Rude. Here we go.
I think I'll struggle with the camera, like when I start doing it.
You'll get better at it. Oh my god. My videos used to be terrible, and they're a lot better now. You see, like, so a lot of times the dogs just start doing it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So the mat work, this is shaping. So I'm not taking the cookie and luring them. It's just when they offer the behavior, I capture with the clicker and then treat them. Pretty much everything else we do with the puppies is luring, where we have food in our hand.
Yeah.
But the mat, I just get such good results with shaping the mat that this is how I do it. Good girl. Okay, that's enough of that. So then I'll just do the mat
3 to 5 times.
Maybe the mat's more like 5 to 7.
Okay.
So then next week, well, I mean, I don't know. Jay might dabble with doing the step 2 with the reset cookie.
Okay.
I think maybe I even did a little bit of it yesterday. Only when I was doing like the grooming stuff, I would just throw one away to see if she wanted to come back. So we might do a little bit of step 2 in week 1, but then definitely by next week we'll be doing more reset cookies than moving the mat around.
Okay.
Okay. But I'll still randomly pick up the mat and move it here and there.
Okay.
So just because we have learned a new step doesn't mean that we never do previous
first
steps
one.
again.
Okay.
Yeah. You should come to an obedience class just to see how it's a little different from puppy class. I'm much more strict on the handlers, like
Good.
watch when you have
I
food
wish
in
we
your hand,
could be
watch when
stricter
you
with
don't.
puppy class.
Well, because puppy class is more about having
They're
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Right. So I think now is a good time to take a little play break.
What's
Come here. Okay, let's get a little closer to the camera.
Millie!
So like anytime I call the dog's name, I'll just click and feed them, pair it with a treat.
Okay.
When they're this age. Okay, ready? So usually I'll get them performing the behavior for maybe 2 repetitions, make sure that they're doing it smoothly before I name it.
I was just gonna ask that.
So she did that fine, and she did it before fine. So this time I can pair it with sit. Did you see the crumbs on her face? This happened yesterday too. And then we can, if she keeps sitting, we could do that reset cookie. Go get it.
Here it is. You can eat full. Go get it. Get it.
Well, sometimes I also think they get distracted by the,
Yeah.
people moving around upstairs. Are you getting tired? Are you fizzling out?
Millie?
This is usually why I do the grooming skills
Because they're
last
tired.
too, because if they're fizzled out and they don't want to move around anymore, well, all you have to do is sit here for me to brush you. So
Yeah.
you want to try and go down?
No.
No. Are you done?
I'm tired.
What about your toy? You liked this yesterday. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we need this. Okay. That'll get you jazzed up again. There we go.
You don't like the chicken, you like that.
Yeah, they're all different with their preferences. She was like running after this one yesterday.
Go get it. Yeah. Oh, you got it. You got it.
It's like as big as her.
I know.
So, like, I know I said before that I'll maybe practice some drops, but, like, actually I don't do that in week 1. I just want to, like, play with them and just have them motivated to play with me.
Yeah.
Because with babies, if you only ever ask them to drop when you're, like, playing tug with them, then it's going to get boring for them. They're like, you always win. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
So, by, like, doing a little tug with her here and then, like, letting go of the toy, like, that's motivating for her. Because when dogs play tug, it's mimicking the predatory sequence. And so, like, when she wins, like, she got her bunny. Yeah. And then when I first teach drop, I will, like, have my treat pouch on, and I'll put the food in front of their nose, and they want to let go of the toy to get the food. And so when they let go of the toy, I'll click the clicker and feed it to them, and then I'll start pairing that with the word drop. But I'll only do that because that's a lured drop, right? And you want to get rid of the food lure as fast as you can. I'll do that for 3 to 5 repetitions, and then I will just hold the toy here and hold still and say drop 1 time. And just like everything else, usually the dog holds on for a minute because they're like, the gears are turning in their head. But you'll start to feel like their jaw loosen, and as soon as they let go, I click the clicker, then reach in the pouch and feed them the treat, right? So that's the offered drop. So the difference between the lured drop and the offered drop. And then once I've been doing offered drops for about a week, then I don't use food at all anymore. I tell you to drop, you let go of the toy, and your reward is that you get to bite the toy again.
Okay.
Or I throw the toy and you chase after the toy and bite it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I build toy motivation. If the dog doesn't really have a ton of toy motivation, right? So I'll start with the food and then try to. Some dogs have really drivey toy motivation right off the bat. You know, so if you think of like your working dogs, like shepherds and stuff like that, I can get rid of the food like within the first week because all they care about is the toy.
Right.
They're more motivated by the toy than the food. So it kind of just depends on the dog. Again, the dog's personality. Did I scare you?
What?
What was scary about that? Did I move my hand too fast? So like when people train, I think they forget that they can use, or they just don't know that they can use toys as like rewards or motivators. Yeah. Because so then after like a few weeks, what I try to do is during my training sessions, like if I have a board and train down or something like that, is that I am rewarding them a lot with toy play. So I'll run through their obedience skills, but then their yes turns into a get it to get the toy. Just another way that you can like feed the food.
Is that like how you'll work